news. Today's news.
Collapse aftermath. This will be a major impact to supply chain. Frustrating search. We do not believe that we're going to find any of these individuals still alive. Music mogul fires back.
Diddy's lawyer calls for law enforcement action in unprecedented ambush.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. The search is resuming this morning for 6 construction workers believed killed in the stunning collapse of Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge after it was hit by a cargo ship. NTSB Chief Jennifer Homendy is leading the investigation. She was on CBS Mornings.
From the voice data recorder, we hope to begin to develop a timeline that led up to the striking of the bridge. It will provide us with a number of parameters, everything from location to positioning of the ship to speed. We'll be able to see any sort of power loss.
Here's CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
Shortly before impact, the more than 900-foot-long ship completely lost power and control of its only engine. Tugboats had already cut loose, leaving the crew with almost no ability to pilot the vessel, forcing a mayday message.
Hold all traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching us, just lost their steering.
That alert gave police enough time to limit the number of vehicles on the bridge's more than mile-and-a-half-long span. The Dolly's port anchor was deployed to try to slow it down, but the ship was already on a catastrophic collision course.
You want to get away, get the ship slowed down, but that takes a certain amount of time.
Michael Kucharski is a former NTSB maritime investigator.
Losing power as you're approaching the bridge would be just about the worst-case scenario.
Giant container ships struck one of the 2 main support columns of the bridge.
It's only supported in the air at 2 points, and we took one of them away.
Ben Schaefer is a structural engineer.
There's not a bridge that we build, that's any level of economy and efficiency that's going to survive that.
With the Port of Baltimore closed, CBS's Ramy Inocencio has more on the potential economic impact.
The Key Bridge is the gateway to the Port of Baltimore, which generates more than $3 billion of annual business. It's the nation's busiest port for cars, trucks, and sugar, and directly employs more than 15,000 people. It is now shut down to all container traffic, with no timeline for reopening. One supply chain expert estimates the port will lose $9 million in business each day that it's not functioning at maximum capacity. Weeks of delays is what I picture. John Schmidt is the vice president and COO of Capital Express, a trucking and warehouse storage company in the Northeast. How important is the Port of Baltimore? It keeps the economy going around here. Without bridge or port access, he says other warehouses across the region will be impacted, and ultimately consumers. It's going to add probably a couple $100 minimum to every truckload. And now what that cost to the consumer, I don't know what it is.
A federal appeals court has kept on hold a Texas law that would let state authorities arrest and prosecute people suspected of illegally crossing the southern border. That blocks a bid by Texas to let the law take effect while the appeal of a ruling blocking it plays out in court. A New York judge has issued a gag order barring former President Trump from commenting publicly about witnesses, prosecutors, and court staff in his upcoming hush money trial. We're learning more about the raid that targeted properties owned by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Here's CBS's Carter Evans.
Guns, cell phones, and other electronics are among the items taken from the homes, according to a source familiar with the search warrant performed by federal agents. Yesterday, Diddy's lawyer called the law enforcement action nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Could this federal investigation have come out of these private lawsuits?
Oh, absolutely. If it involves sex trafficking or drugs or weapons or other illegal behavior.
Lori Levinson is a former federal prosecutor.
4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you for coming along with me on these dash cam news adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's 51 degrees in San Mateo, California.